Welcome to WeLearn. In the previous session, we had the discussion about structures and unions. Now we will discuss about C preprocessor. Topics to be covered are introduction, define to implement constants, define to create macros, reading from files using #include, conditional selection of code using if-def, other preprocessor commands, predefined names defined by preprocessor, and macros versus functions. The C preprocessor and its role. The C preprocessor is not part of the compiler, but it is a separate step in the compilation process. So C preprocessor is just like a text substitution tool which filters your source code before it is compiled. All preprocessor directories or commands begin with the symbol hash. #include. #include preprocessor directive has been used throughout this text. The #include directive causes a copy of specified file to be included in place of directive. The two forms of #include directives are #include angle bracket file name angle bracket close, and the second is #include double quotes file name. The difference between these is the location the preprocessor begins searches for the file to be included. So the main difference is the location that the preprocessor searches for a file. If the file name is enclosed in quotes, the preprocessor starts searches in the same directory as the file begin compiled for the file to be included. But if the file name is enclosed in angle brackets used for standard library headers, the search is performed in an implementation dependent manner, normally through pre-designated compiler and system directories. So the #include directive is used to include standard library headers such as stdio.h, stdlib.h, etc. This is the example of #include. #include stdio.h. So a predefined include file that comes with the system. It gives up the type declaration prototypes for library routines, for example printf. We can also define the oven header files. A header file has file extension .h. So these header files typically contain public information, for example type declarations, macros and other definitions, function prototypes. The public information associated with the code file foo.c will be replaced in the header file foo.h. So these header files are included by files that need that public information. We can declare it like that. That is #include double quotes my header file .h, and that is enclosed in double quotes. The next is macros. A macro is a symbol that is recognized by preprocessor and replaced by macro body. The structure of simple macros is #define, identifier, replacement list. So #define. Wordlen 64. That will replace the text wordlen to 64. So similarly, as we declare the variables a equal to 10, then it will replace that whenever we use to print the value of a, it will print 10. Similarly, whenever we use the wordlen, it will print 64. Using simple macros, we just use this macro name in place of the value. For example, #define pi 3.1 416. It replaces all subsequent occurrences of symbolic constant pi with the numeric constant 3.1416. Symbolic constants enable you to create a name for a constant and use the name throughout the program. If the constant needs to be modified throughout the program, it can be modified once in the hash defined directive. So when the program is recompiled, all occurrences of constant in the program will be modified accordingly. There is an accurate definition, how we can define accurately. Here hash defined boolean equal to 1024 is not the accurate type. We can define it as like hash defined pi 3.146. This is the example. We can define the values like this. Here I have include stdio.h has defined n to 5 and has defined m10. So when I will print the value m and n, this will print like this. I will show you in C also. Here I am using hash include the two header files. Hash include conio.h. I am defining the value of x to 10. So starting from main, I have defined the constant x that will replace the value of x to 10. This is called the simple macro also. So it's showing the value of 10. Now I will define x to 100. Then I will recompile it and it will show 100 like this. So a macro is identified defined in hash defined preprocessor directive. So macros may be defined with or without arguments. Here I have defined macro, simple macro that define the value of x to 100. We can define macros with arguments also. For example, if I want to print the area, then we can create a macro of it and call this macro in the program also. So if I want to replace printf statement, I can define foo as printf. So it replaces the printf. Whenever we use foo, it will take it as printf statements. So because x is not defined anywhere, so it's showing the error. I'll just print the message. So now foo will work like as a printf function like this. So we can create macro like this. Next is parameterized macros. Macros can have parameters. So these resemble function in some ways. Macro definition formal parameters. Macro use actual arguments. For example, hash define max x comma y. It will check if x greater than y, then it will show the result x, otherwise it will show the result y is greater. So these preprocessor will assume we are defining a defining a simple macro. So this is the example of macro. Here I have include hash define double x that will double the value of x with x plus x. If I entered the value of x to 10, then it will do the double, that is 20. So it can be used like this. I have created this macro, that is hash define, and with the parameterized x, and this is the operation that is to be performed, x plus x. In the void, in the main function, printf double, and this is the macro double, and the passing argument 10, so it will print the 20. So double 10 means 20 is the output. I'll show you with the example also. Here I am defining the macro double and passing the argument x, and the operation will be performed on x is x plus x. Then I take the input from the user also, whichever value he want to enter. Scanning the value. I am calling the function here. Here is a semicolon missing. So it's showing me the message to enter the value. I have entered 10. It show me the 20. For the clear screen, I am using clear screen here. So if I enter 20, it show me the output 40. Similarly, we can create the macro to scare the value of x. For this, I can written like this. Whichever value I will enter, it will show the scare of this value. I have entered 5, it will show me the output 25. So these are the macros which execute like this. Macros versus functions. So about before the discussion about macros versus functions, we discuss about the cautions that we have to take whenever we declare the macros. The caution is precedence rule. So here I have include two macros double that will double the value x plus x, and scare again macro scare that will scare the value of x into x. So whenever I'll input the value x equal to 3, it will show me the result. The scare of 3 is 18 and the scare of double is and double of 3 is 18 and the scare of 3 is 15. Is it the right input, right output? No. So whenever we use macros, we need to use the brackets to show about the precedence rule. Because the high priority operators, for example multiplication, will be executed first with the BODMAS rule. So whenever we use macros, so we need to take this quotient like this. We have to specify the brackets so that it will show the correct output. Double of 3 square is 3 squared is 18. Double of 3 is 6, and then it will show the square. So this is the correct information which we can place by using the brackets. Next topic is difference between macros and functions. Here's a little bit difference between macros and functions. May behave differently if an argument is referenced at multiple times. So a function argument is evaluated once before the call, but a macro argument is evaluated at each time that is encountered in the macros body. So these are the main difference about macros and functions. Functions and macros do the same task, but the difference is that they are evaluated each time, but functions evaluated at only once. So this is the main difference. Next is macros may be slightly faster than functions because it don't incur the overhead of function call or return. Macros are generic, parameters don't have any associated type, so arguments are not type checked. So these are the difference between macros and functions. Next is properties of functions. Macros may be nested. We can use nested macros also. So in the nested macros, the same pitfall, we need to apply the brackets for the correct output. Header files. Our file extension .h contains shared definitions, that is type defs, macros and function prototypes. This is an example of header file. Here I have include preprog._5.h. Type defs. It allows to define aliases for types. For example, type def int base pay, type def struct node. So this is the example of type defs. This works as like aliases. Conditional compilation hash if def. The preprocessor has a conditional statement similar to C's if else. It can be used to selectively include statements in the program. For example, if we want to apply the condition if def similarly to the if statement, if the condition is true, then the statement will be executed. But if the condition is not true, the statement will not be executed. Similarly, we can use in hash if def. Here line 1 to line n will be included if identifier has been defined as a macro. Otherwise, if it is not defined, the condition, if the condition is false, nothing will be happen, nothing will be executed. So this is the example of if def. Here I have include hash, include stdio.h, void main, hash if def max. Here it's check whether we have defined max anywhere. If we defined max earlier, then it will define the value minimum to 90. So it will replace the min value to 90. Otherwise, it will replace min value to 100. And then hash and if. Next is printf. So if the condition true, then the min value will be replaced to 90. Otherwise, min value will be replaced to 100. So I'll show you with example also. Using hash include. including the header files. Now defining the value min to 90. This is the end of if statement. Now we'll use printf. Here I have defined and apply the condition if def max. If I have defined, it will check whether the max is defined anywhere. If it defined, then it will replace the value min to 90, otherwise it will replace the value min to 100, and that is end if, then printf min. So now it will print. What is printing? It's printing 100 because it did not find about max, because max is not defined, so it's showing the else statement and defining the value min to 100. If I define max somewhere, for example, I am defining max here. Now it will print the value 90 because in the if statement is checking whether max is defined anywhere. If it is defined, so it will, the statement under the if statement will be executed. So it replaces the text min to 90 and showing the value about min is 90. So as we use this if else statement, we can use if def also. So this is a basic example of conditional statements. Thank you.